You know what? This isn't that kind of... It's a dating sim. What? Please don't start me all the way back at the beginning. Oh, man. It starts me back at the chapter. Oh, man. That's infuriating. Difference with Spork Monster, that's fine. Alright, here we go. We're cold. Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I just got a little cold and thought this might warm me up. Colonel Sanders smiles and scoots close to the fireplace. It's warm by the fire. Why don't you come a little closer? So we can't kiss him, but they present this scenario to us. What? KFC, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to not romantically pursue your founder and CEO? If so, then why did you make it a dating simulator? Suddenly everything feels like it's moving too fast. Final exams are tomorrow. You should be thinking about what you're going to cook. I should be home studying. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you a pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Sonny says stuff. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. Zzz. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. I stayed at his house. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. So would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Let's flatter him. Alright. Oh, he wants us to be a business partner. And Miriam's at my house. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now it turns out you're fine. I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. He was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Now I'm not really sure where we stand. I spent the night at Colonel Sanders' house. Nothing happened, but the emotional connection, wowzers. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, I don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad.
2 hours later.
In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spellbook you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's the book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I really don't believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Sounds pretty familiar. Spider-Man. don't do it after all. He stops in his track and focuses on the window. A tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window. How's that for feral? That's weird. One moment. Okay. He turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence, I told you never to come back here, Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again! After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam, which is trademarked. Still working on the title, but I think you get it. You're working on it, buddy. It's trademarked. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend your time before the exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Van Van, the supposed man-man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on. Sunny says stuff's famous chicken pot pie. You know what's funny? I actually make like a chicken pot pie recipe in real life, but I don't believe in the pot pie. Like the actual shape and food delivery mode of a pot pie. They can be good. I've had some good pot pies. But I take out the pie element, I just make the filling, and then I eat it with biscuits because it's way better. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Sonny says stuff, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking all in, I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? It's too bad. I was hoping you were cooking something delicious. Oh, hold on. I am Colonel Sanders right now. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. It's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. My nose is telling me something else. Oh no, it's burning? No, I could smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. There it is. I'll make a damn good pot pie. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown's about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, except that is to cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You said the mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes, per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe copyright, fried chicken. The intensity of the room starts at full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare for food. It's like an anime. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Miriam fiercely injects ingredients into an itty bitty pot of broth. Best friend Baster Blaster. Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roll. Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula. Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's the singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out of the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spell book out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? I'm going to do it the hard way, because that's what Colonel Sanders would do. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Sonny Says Stuff. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Sonny Says Stuff, since we were little kids because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done. That's why I thought I'd help you. Well, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. That's fine, because it's just mustard seed. It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster. Steve, wait, what happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many, and I think Gorko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate the battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff, and it's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve, the Spork Monster, notices you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell you a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on the competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up... You toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck! Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know... No! Dude, I accidentally clicked give up. Oh. Do it the hard way. Okay. Okay, so yeah, there's Steve. Okay, there we go. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady. I am one with the force is one with me. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for... Yes, Sonny Says Stuff. You are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady. I am one with the force is one with me. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Sonny Says Stuff, you may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides you have earned his support. Been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese. The time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. Besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in savory soup. That's tiny. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny narutomaki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea I made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime! Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on, I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love as poured into yours. Miriam's overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Sonny says stuff, for helping me to believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell, topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand, doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Please be gentle in my cuisine. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for glamour. Don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last time you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley, it's time to step up. Now describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I had asked that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Get it? Got toast in your ears or something, Sonny says stuff? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I want to be judged on eating, I go to the College of Eating, School for the Hungry. Suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. 2 chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. A famous bowl. Oh, it's so good that we made everyone pass the class. No need to thank me. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. New menu item is so impressive that even Van, and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house! Oh. You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. That was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. Now that everyone's together, it's the Spork Monster. He is totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here out, I'd prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, the Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up in talking to Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat, a crown. Welcome back, Pop. I knew you weren't able to complete the final exam to accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparkling and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I'm actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. Now that I've learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I've just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. I am blown away by Miriam's maturity. I understand, kind of. Humans are weird. Portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. And here comes the man. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. It's time for a full meal. Bucket of chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, coleslaw, biscuits. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. What are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for that right person to ask me to dance. Is it gonna happen? I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, oh, I don't know, a spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, just to name a few. Truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me? Yeah, I'd love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. Once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be glad to spend it together with you, Sonny Sesto. How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself. But who will help you run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? Well, I suppose I can enroll at pastry school. Oh my. Dear Sunny says stuff. I'm sure you'll find your place eventually. But along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end. Oh my god. KFC made this game. Thank you for joining me. I didn't get to actually engage in romance with the Colonel, but it rewarded me with that. I'm actually kind of a little bummed that it was really just a visual novel that rewards you with romance. It's not actually a dating sim. All in all, 8 out of 10. Pretty good game. Have a good night.